ticket, you sucker.
But Pat McAfee, man, Pat McAfee name is all over the internet, all over social media. ESPN, I was looking at, they ran a story on it. SB Nation, everybody's talking about Pat McAfee going out and having his wrestling debut, man, living out his wrestling dream. Inside the square circle, going toe-to-toe, one-on-one with Adam Cole. Man, we got to talk about it. We got to talk about Pat McAfee, because I was the first guy to say, man, I've been watching football for many, many years. I've been, a follower of the game, and I've never seen a kicker run into the squam. I've never seen a kicker out and, at the 50-yard line fighting somebody. You know what I mean? Kicker, sometimes you see him get the ball and, on a mishap or something, and he try to run and doesn't look like he can do anything. And more importantly than anything, I've never seen a kicker whoop anybody's ass. Okay, that's here nor there. Pat McAfee, though, he might be the first. He might be the first kicker that perhaps have been in a few fights throughout his lifetime, and I say that because when I look at guys wrestle, even though he need a little work, if he came down to the reality of wrestling, little small company down in Houston, Texas, but we work hard for our artists. If he would have came down to the reality of wrestling, I would have gave him a few pointers that really would have worked for him. But Pat McAfee, I could tell, is a guy that has been in a few squams in his lifetime, because he went out and he accounted himself very, very well in anyone's first match in this business on live television. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's a pressure cooker. But one thing about kickers, punters, they're normally, under a lot of pressure, trying to do that job. And normally they're doing that job in front of, thousands of people. And for someone like Pat McAfee, he's been doing it for many, many years under that pressure situation, in front of many, many people. So I think being in front of a crowd was the last thing Pat McAfee was thinking about, as far as something that was going to work against him. I think it helped him more than anything, especially in certain situations, like jumping off of something, turning a flip, and landing on his feet, because that right there is something you got to have a lot of balance, timing, technique, to actually do it, especially when, the match is going on a few minutes in. You could be getting tired. Anything could happen. It's called high risk. Just for that reason, anything can happen. But for him to be able to put himself in that position and be able to pull it off in front of the world, I give Pat McAfee an A for effort and everything else. He looked great. I must say, I give him a lot of props going out there and working with Adam Cole. But then again, I give that kid, Adam Cole, a whole lot of props as well, because he was a ring general. He was a general in there. And to the naked eye, you guys, out there that's watching it, you just, you liking what you're seeing. But for me, I'm a professional. I'm looking, from a professional perspective. I'm looking to make sure, man, they should have did. No, that was wrong. But you guys look at it from a totally different perspective. But I must say, even looking at it from a seasoned eye, Pat McAfee did a hell of a job. Some of the guys in the locker room might want to take notes, because their spots might be getting taken if a guy like Pat McAfee wants to stick around for a bit.
You know what? I was like you, and I don't know if it was you I was talking to or somebody else, but when I saw the angle, not the incident on his show, but when I saw the angle on NXT, and I'm like, I don't know, man. Pat McAfee, and you're going to go up against one of the top guys in NXT, Adam Cole, and he's going to knock Adam Cole out with a kick. I wasn't sure. I wasn't feeling it. And then when we were doing the show last week and we saw that little training montage he put out, I said, oh, I don't know, Pat McAfee might actually do pretty well at this. And I didn't know that he had had a wrestling ring for quite some time that he had bought and practiced and brought guys in to train him for a long time. And this was a dream of his. This wasn't like, hey, Lawrence Taylor, do you want to come wrestle? Or, hey, Carl Malone, do you want to come wrestle? It wasn't one of those things. It was, he had wanted to do this for so long. And he and Adam Cole went out there and they rocked it, man. They tore the house down. It was great. And there was a spot where they're on the top turnbuckle. Pat McAfee does a backflip, lands on his feet, then leaps back onto the top rope and does a superplex to him, Adam Cole. It was stuff that you wouldn't expect to see a guy who had never had a match ever in his life before. And no disrespect, but I thought the same thing. I'm like, oh, he's a kicker. You know what I mean? It's not like he's a running back or a wide receiver. He's not one of the more athletic positions, but Pat McAfee shut me up completely. This man is an athlete. He is 100% an athlete. And if he wants to wrestle more, I'm not going to complain about it. I don't think that's going to happen. But if he wants to come out and wrestle a match here or there, I'll watch it. I'm not going to complain whatsoever.
I'm sure when Pat McAfee awakened this morning, actually Saturday morning, Sunday morning, he was wondering what the hell just happened. And then on Monday it gets worse. You know, so trust me, I know. But McAfee he's still a relatively young guy. You know, he's not a guy that's you know, past being able to go out there and perhaps pull it off. I love to see it. I love to see it because, like I say, there again, he did do a good job, much better than I anticipated him going out there and being able to do. But there again, man, I got to give Adam Cole a lot of credit too, because people, you know, people always, it was when I was putting Adam Cole over just a month or so ago, you know, all kind of people was talking about it. You know what I mean? Talking about Adam Cole, you know, not being big enough to, you know, go out there and work at that level. And I go, gosh, Shawn Michaels went out and worked at that level, and he wasn't that big of a guy. And I'm not trying to put Adam Cole, you know, in a place to have to walk in the shoes of Shawn Michaels or anything like that. But Rey Mysterio, he's not the biggest guy in the world. You know, one of the guys that got over more than anybody, and he wasn't the biggest guy in the world, it was Taz. You know, and you know, people can say what they want to say about Taz, but Taz, in my book, Taz was over, brother. You know, and Taz, you know what? I didn't know Taz was 5'8" until I met him. I'm serious.
I think 5'8" might be a little generous.
5'6.5". Okay, all right, I take it back. But that was the meanest, baddest 5'6.5". Man, 5'7". Well, I'm gonna give 5'7".
I mean, he was at least 5'10". You know what I
mean? No, he was.
I'm just playing.
But I thought Taz was a monster just because of his persona and the way he went out there and carried himself. And when I watched Adam Cole made that scene on the Pat McAfee show real as it possibly could be, to the point to where I said it. I say, man, I don't know if it's a work or not. You know, I say, but if they have an angle over the next 4 weeks, we'll know it was what it was. Okay, that's what I said. Okay, so I wasn't blinded or anything like that. But what it showed me was the art of Shakespeare and Romeo and Juliet and Phantom of the Opera. It still works, and that's what Adam Cole did in that scene. He made that scene real to where everybody wondered if it was real or not. And that's the art of professional wrestling. Hey guys, stick around. We'll be back in a minute.